Hello everyone, welcome to the Smashy Business Show. Today is Friday, April 2025. I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Warid Ahmed, and we have great topics for you today. Today we're going to be discussing the highlights of Day 4 of Dubai AI Week. Secondly, we're also going to discuss how Cafu is exploring a first ever stake sale, according to Bloomberg. And I find this one really interesting. But Damac has announced that they have used AI to boost their monthly financial collections by a staggering $54.4 million. And this one's really big. So PayPal has finally opened their first headquarters for Africa and the Middle East. And guess what? They chose Dubai. And finally, Dubai-based logistics giant Aramex has actually announced a leadership change.
Yes, starting with highlights of Day 4 of Dubai AI Week. I can hear my echo, I think, also. Day 4 of Dubai AI Week saw strong emphasis on human-centered innovation as His Excellency Sheikh Nahyan Al Mubarak Al Nahyan, Minister of Tolerance and Coexistence, delivered a powerful call to align artificial intelligence, AI, with human values, inclusivity, and global cooperation. Speaking at the Museum of the Future, Sheikh Nahyan stressed that AI should enrich lives, not disrupt them, urging the global tech community to anchor its development in values like peace, dignity, and opportunity for all.
Now, he phrased Dubai's role as a global AI capital, highlighting the UAE's leadership in tech under President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed and His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Now, the minister also called for massive investment in education, international collaboration, and ethical frameworks to responsibly harness AI's power across sectors such as climate, healthcare, and economic development.
Also, more than 2,000 global experts, policymakers, and researchers gathered at the summit hosted by Polynome Group. Key sessions explored generative AI, humanoid robotics, and digital creativity. Workshops were led by NVIDIA and Amazon Web Services. They also provided hands-on access to next-gen generative AI tools, reinforcing Dubai's push to merge research with real-world applications.
Now, significant regional partnerships were also unveiled. Now, Dubai Commerce City signed agreements with AI firms Keen AI and Portment to advance e-commerce and trade logistics using intelligent automation. Now, these partnerships align with Dubai's economic agenda and further position the city as a magnet for digital innovation and investment.
In real estate, the Dubai Land Department reported results from its AI-powered ad governance platform, which monitored over 279,000 listings, modifying nearly a third to ensure compliance. Officials say this elevates transparency and investor trust, reinforcing Dubai's standing as a global real estate innovation hub.
Now, finally, homegrown startup The Game Company launched its AI-powered cloud gaming platform during the week, now backed by major tech players and aligned with the Dubai Gaming 2033 strategy. The platform brings 1,300 titles to gamers and more across devices, no console required. And that's a wrap for Day 4 of Dubai AI Week, and there is actually more to come. Imagine things have changed so much. You know what I tried last night for the first time in my life? So, I don't know if you've been hearing these rumors, but basically, people have been saying that like ChatGPT can be a really good therapist. And it can give you emotional advice. And last night at 10:40 p.m., I was really anxious about something and I was just so worried. And so I was like, you know what? Everyone's asleep right now. My friends are asleep. My family is asleep. I'm not going to bother anyone. So I was like, let me ask Chat. Majid, oh my God, it reassures you better than a human being. It's crazy. I gave it a situation and I'm like, hey, can you please help me with this? Like, it was kind of more of a conversation, more so than a prompt, and just give me one answer. Because usually I go for a one answer kind of prompt. And then, you know what it did? It basically, I gave it the situation and I'm like, what is actually going on in this situation? Like, tell me what is actually the real thing that's going on, the real deal. And it gave me two parts. The part where it said, this is actually what's happening here, bullet points, and then why you felt bad about it. and what your feelings were that made you feel bad about it. It's because you approached the situation with good conscience, and I was like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
crazy. Oh,
The
wow.
thing is that all these AI platforms, they're trained on so much data which is publicly available online, and that includes psychologists,
It's
research
crazy.
papers.
Imagine, I am still
So
shocked.
obviously, it has, for example, you go to a psychologist, that psychologist has access to the memory that they have. And your memory compared to an AI's memory, the trillions and trillions bytes of data that has been trained on, it will obviously give you good advice. The
I'm just so
only thing I
shocked.
think that it lacks is the emotional human connection that you get when you go and sit on a sofa or a
Yeah,
couch
of course.
and you talk to a person.
But imagine, it's
So
like,
empathy, I guess, is missing.
I think for no, there was empathy there, and you know
An
what it
AI
told me?
cannot feel empathy.
You know what
If
it
it
told
felt
me?
empathy, it
No,
would be AGI.
wait. You know what it told me in an answer? In the answer, it was like, "You're totally right, Ward. Don't worry. I don't know why it knew my name. It was like, Ward, don't worry. You're a star. You're doing great." And I'm like, wait a minute. I did not ask for this. I think for me, this was probably my like epiphanic
Yeah.
moment when I actually like, I'm actually being serious with you, by the way. I know we've been using AI for a
Yeah.
while now, even at work. But I think for me, this was like the epiphanic moment, and where I was like, okay, this is a real thing. This is the real deal. Like, we
Yeah.
need this in our lives. What was your epiphanic moment with
I
AI?
I have also tried this, like, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. What should I
No, but
do?
what was the
Or
moment you were like, oh my God, like, this is great. I can never give
I
this
told
up.
you I did the beta testing, so I was like, what is happening?
What do you mean beta testing?
Very start when it launched, it sent out emails to like very specific people, and they could. There was a whole
Ooh,
form that you
imagine it's
fill.
important.
Not,
He's
I'm
a
not
part of the
important. I
list.
just was a part of that process.
Sorry.
So yeah, I have had the epiphany before it was launched. But for me, the very interesting thing was you just write and it starts, and you're like, what? How can you do that?
Yeah.
Like so the very first time I saw it, like
Yeah,
the
very
animation of
quick.
writing,
Yeah.
right? And also I read something about this that ChatGPT can give you answer like this. They've like consciously added that feeling of that it's writing and thinking to give you that feeling, oh, it's writing actually. It has the answer already. It can just throw it in your face like a picture of this is the answer. But they like consciously added that animation of like it thinking and writing just to give you the feel that it's actually thinking and it's actually writing. It's very quick, like it goes like this, but just to give you the feeling. It's like animations on your phone. If you turn off all animations of your phone, you will start feeling very weird about it. Just try to do that someday.
I don't think
I
I've
did
ever-
it. I did it just to check. I turned off
Yeah.
all animations on my phone. The interesting thing was that it started feeling very robotic or very boring. So when you click on an app and it blows up and then opens and loads and everything, all those animations, if you remove them, your phone starts feeling like a very old 1980s machine. So yeah, that was the epiphanic moment. Like writing, wow, how can you do that? It takes me like 10 minutes to write 1,000 words. You're doing it in within seconds.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It really
So
is
AI
crazy.
is crazy. We'll talk about AI, how it saved 54 million for Damac also later in the show. But there's a very important story. Cafu. Everyone who is in Dubai uses Cafu or has used Cafu or at least knows someone who has used Cafu, but they're not doing really good. How and why? Dubai-based fuel delivery startup Cafu, it started with fuel delivery, now they do other things as well, is reportedly exploring its first ever stake sale. Stake sale is they'll sell 10, 20, 30% of the whole company. So as it seeks to raise funds and scale operations, that's according to Bloomberg, which quoted people familiar with the matter, who say the company has tapped financial advisory firm Lazard Limited to guide the process.
Now, the discussions are still in early stages, so there's no final decisions that are actually made yet. So, Cafu was founded in 2018 by Rashid Al Ghurair, a member of the prominent Emirati merchant family, has gained visibility across the UAE for its fleet of blue-green trucks delivering fuel directly to customers. You have no idea how many times Cafu has actually saved me.
And the service offers fuel at the same price as petrol station and has expanded to include mobile car washes, battery replacements. I replaced my battery. My wife actually did it. So yeah, thank you, Cafu. And even EV charging. Cafu has also ventured beyond the Gulf region. It currently operates in Canada as well.
Now, in a recent update to users, Cafu announced it would start charging a fee for fuel deliveries, calling it a small change so we can keep doing things right. Now, the company has traditionally avoided raising large amounts of equity, citing financing challenges in the past.
And for Lazard, securing this mandate, this whole deal could mark a significant win. The global advisory firm recently opened a new office in Abu Dhabi. We reported it last month, around March, as it aims to capture more deal flow in a region currently led by heavyweights Rothschild & Co. and Moelis & Co. The interesting thing, when I was reading about this, Cafu aside, Lazard recently came to Abu Dhabi. ADQ tried to buy Lazard in 2023. So this was a whole fiasco. It happened, both of them, ADQ, again, one of the sovereign wealth funds in Abu Dhabi. It's the smallest sovereign wealth fund. The top is ADIA, Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. Then you have Mubadala, which is 550 billion. Now they say they're around 600 billion. And then there's ADQ, 250 to 300 billion. Chaired by His Highness Sheikh Qanun. So they tried to buy Lazard. It's kind of an investment management bank, plus it handles all this stuff as well. So it has multiple subsidiaries which handle different things. And I was like, okay, so indirectly, ADQ, if that deal had went through, ADQ would be buying Cafu now. So Abu Dhabi company buying Dubai. So there's a lot of details in this. The main thing is that Cafu selling oil at like market price, at the petrol station price, I think they were not getting enough profits. It's very difficult.
I think it does make sense, the fact that they're trying to sell stake, because if you actually think about it, okay, their entire company, Cafu, it's based around the entire concept of what?
Yeah.
Delivering petrol to all of us.
And that takes petrol as well.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that takes petrol, and they never charged us that delivery fee. So basically, you're like a petrol station that's running.
Moving.
But you're basically moving, and as you're moving, you're incurring expenses.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened here.
See, the thing is, even with petrol stations, the price that you get the fuel at, it's not the retail price, the market price. Market price is like some fills lower. So that is how petrol stations make their profit. For example, if fuel is 3.5 in retail or from the government or from the provider, they'll sell you at 3.6162. So they make profits in fill. For them, it makes sense because the infrastructure costs that they have, they put up a petrol station, it's like long term. You make a petrol station, it will stay there for like 10, 15, 20 years at least. You just have to pay human cost, like people who are working at the station or everything. But with Cafu, the costs are more. Again, petrol, because they're constantly roaming around. They always have their fleet placed in every area because anyone can call anytime. No one will wait 30, 40, 1 hour. So they have their fleet very strategically placed throughout the city, in your area, in my area, near Abu Dhabi, near Sharjah, everywhere. So that costs you. So
And
that
if
extra
anything-
cost, I think, is causing the problem where they're not able to make ends meet. The only thing that I can say about it is that they are not in good profits. Looking at this story, if they are planning a stake sale, which is a possibility according to Bloomberg, so that means they're not doing good financially.
But I do hope that they survive.
Yeah.
Please do. I need you.
Yeah, everyone
I really
loves
do.
Cafu.
Honestly, I mean it, Majid, because for
Yeah.
some reason, I have the kind of family members who just love to drive the car until the petrol is at zero.
And then just stop and like,
And
Cafu,
then,
please.
and then they'll be like, oh, let's order Cafu. But it's like, what if we don't have Cafu? Like, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna be driving to the petrol station, buying? You know when you like go buy a bottle of
Yeah.
like petrol oil? But anyways, besides beside the
Funnily,
point.
in UAE, it's illegal to buy it
Oh,
in bottles.
I didn't know
but
that.
I saw it happen only when, like last
When there's an
April,
emergency.
the last April storms and all that rain
No,
thing.
that makes sense.
Everything was so like difficult.
wow.
Even a lot of petrol stations were like submerged in water. So the only option was not to take your car and take a bottle. So yeah, very like emergency, very rare situations it's allowed. But yeah, I've driven like on wrong way also in Dubai in rains because one side of the road was completely closed, submerged in water. So everyone was going like on the other side of the road, opposite directions. But that's a very, very rare case
I
when
did not
rules
leave
and
my house
they
during
turned
that
off the
time.
cameras. Everyone was just handling everything
Oh
themselves.
my God! During
It was very
when it
nice
was
to
raining,
see
Magic,
like.
did you go to work? I'm just
I
curious.
went on Monday. Tuesday the rains hit, so obviously we didn't go. Wednesday we didn't go, but Thursday they started operating the metro, and I worked in Business Bay. So Business
you
Bay.
were able to
So
go.
it took me like 4 hours to reach Business Bay, which is usually a 28-minute ride.
Are you serious?
So yeah, from Furjan, I had to wait for 1 hour for the metro to come because very limited amount of metro trains were
Yeah.
working. So 1 hour I had to wait for the train. It took me to Jabal Ali. Then at Jabal Ali, which is like 5 minutes away on the
Oh,
metro,
wow.
you come out and then you wait for another
I did
train
not
for
go to
1 hour.
work. Listen, I did not go to work because
A
and
lot
by
of
the
people complained about this.
And Majid, I'll never forget my employee. I don't think my employer was very happy with me.
Yeah,
She did
yeah.
not express it,
Lot of-
but it's like, excuse me, just because my family has a car does not mean I need to go to work. What if the car
No,
just
there was a-
stops working?
There was a very long discussion on this, I remember. So the government put out, the RTA put out, MOHRE, Mohre, which we call it.
By the way, people didn't pay attention to the warning.
No, you have to understand. That is the discussion basically that government agencies, all these players who were part of like managing workforces, more ARTA, blah, 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 all of them put out notifications that don't call anyone who is not like needed in the office, like 100%. Like people were going to DWTC because there were events during that time and they had to be physically present, like waiters and all these people, servers, they had to be there. Their work actually means them being present. But I had a discussion, I remember, with one person who was like part of this system, and they told me that you can't pressurize private companies to do something because then they'll be like, okay, the government keeps pressuring us, we'll pack up our bags and leave. So there are things where you just get advisory. You have to just look at the word. So if it's an advisory, it's dependent on private jobs like discretion. They can and they cannot. But yeah, if it's a rule, like a rule, and it's turned into a law and it's part of the constitution, then you have to follow it. So yeah, next time something happens like this, just remember the difference between a law and advisory. Government, on some cases, can only advise private companies to do something, but like national holidays,
You know what
you
I
have
can do,
to
Magic?
like follow the law.
I can advise myself.
Yeah,
That's
but
for
don't
sure.
go.
That's for sure. I can advise myself. Now, for our third story for today, PayPal, the global digital commerce giant, has officially opened its first ever regional headquarters for the Middle East and Africa, right here in Dubai Internet City. It's interesting how they chose Dubai. Now, the announcement was made Wednesday, marking a major step in PayPal's expansion across the region.
And the new Dubai hub will support businesses of all sizes, from SMEs, small and medium enterprises, to large enterprises, enabling them to tap into global markets and sell across borders. PayPal says the move reinforces its long-term commitment to customers and partners in the region.
Now, Susan Kuriri, PayPal's president of global markets, said the platform already serves over 430 million customers worldwide. Now, from Dubai, the company aims to empower more businesses in the Middle East and Africa to connect with global consumers and shop internationally with confidence.
Otto Williams, SVP Senior Vice President and GM General Manager for the region, emphasized the role of strategic partnerships with banks, fintechs, telcos, and commerce platforms in expanding access to global digital economy. He added that the hub will especially benefit small and medium-sized businesses across vital sectors like retail, travel, and digital services. It's just another option to pay money online.
Oh, it's an option for the Westerners here to be like, can you PayPal me that 3 dirhams that I just gave you? Anyways, PayPal currently dominates the global payment space with a 45% market share. Guys, do you know how big that is? And $1.68 trillion in 2024 payment volume and presence in over 200 markets. Now, the company is now developing a next generation shopping experiences powered by artificial intelligence, including smart wallets and agentic commerce tools. With this story, you know what I want to say, Majid? There is nothing that I hear more in this world, more than the fact that Americans love to PayPal each other.
Yeah.
And I see it online all the time where these Arabs come online and they say, oh, you know when you go out with someone and they're like, hey, can you PayPal me that extra 5 dirhams?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God. And I think this is what they're accommodating to. They're accommodating to this behavior here. And honestly, but I think it's going to make our life easier because, you know,
payments
because
always help you.
I think PayPal, I love how it's just really quick. And you know what's something that I hate? I've always signed up for these like Western giveaways, Majid, and oh my God, they would only actually send you something if you had PayPal.
Yeah.
So now this is peaceful for me. I've always wanted my own PayPal, but sorry, what do you think?
No, I really love the banking system in the UAE. It's very easy for basic amounts. There is no extra fee, and even if there is a fee, it's very low. The only part about it is that it's quick. You send the money, the other person will get it in like 5 minutes. Sometimes, very rarely, it takes 1 or 2 hours, but usually the transfer happens like within minutes. The only thing is adding the number, bank number, and confirming all that stuff. So with PayPal and all the other payment services, it's easier. And also, when you go online, you shop online, all these things help you. So right now, whenever I see payment gateways like PayPal online, we should do a list. We'll do the story with the list also, like what are the alternatives that are already there in PayPal. Very important story, we should do that. But all of them are working, but they're not as famous as PayPal. That's
and
the problem.
as good as PayPal.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's just like
give them
using
credit
Google
there.
Chrome or maybe Firefox and then trying to go back to Internet Explorer. You'll be like, yeah, it works. It does the same job, but I still believe Chrome and Safari and the big ones are important.
sure.
So it's like that, yeah. And last story for today, Dubai-based real estate giant Damac Properties has boosted its monthly financial collections by a staggering $54 million.
Crazy.
Thanks to strategic deployment of artificial intelligence. That's according to Managing Director Ali Sajwani, who was speaking at the Dubai Artificial Intelligence Festival, which is part of the Dubai AI Week. I just realized,
Now, Ali Sajwani said AI is now central to the company's operations, not just in tech, but across sales, land selection, design, pricing, marketing, and customer service. Now, one major impact is that AI helped Damac analyze 100% of transactions, replacing the previous manual process, which only covered up to 10%.
AI also improved customer communication and identified reasons for late payments with greater speed and accuracy. The company's customer satisfaction score has jumped from 3.5 to 4.5 out of 5 since early 2024.
That's big.
Thanks to AI. And in digital marketing, AI now adjusts campaign strategies daily, helping the bank manage its 2 to 3 million monthly ad spend more efficiently.
Now, on international expansion, Sajwani confirmed that Damac's US-based venture EdgeNext will finance its $20 billion data center project through a mix in the US through a mix of internal funds and bank loans, with banks covering up to 80% of the cost. Now, the focus is on Sunbelt and Midwest states across America.
Yeah, it's the deal that the Hussein Sajwani announced when Trump became the president. So Ali Sajwani, the son of Hussein Sajwani, who also ranks third on Forbes Middle East list of world's richest Arabs, boasts a net worth of, this is about Hussein Sajwani, not his son. Hussein Sajwani, the founder of the Mac, is the richest person, third richest person, Arab world, has $10.2 billion of worth. He's also ranked the most impactful real estate leader in the region for 2025 by Forbes.
And keep in mind that tripled. So
Yeah.
last year, that was about like $5 billion. In just a year, it went to $10 billion.
Yeah.
And we can definitely say that his $20 billion data center expansion
Yeah.
into the US with Donald Trump definitely
Yeah.
contributed to that. But when I'm taking a look at this, Majid, I think for the listeners today, and those who want to work in real estate, if I were them, I'd definitely move to Damac Properties.
Yeah.
Because I think now that the best kind of companies are the ones who aren't falling behind or actually catching up with the change that's happening. The use of artificial intelligence, and it's not to be underestimated, because if you don't use it, you're just going to fall behind.
Yeah.
You're going to be living in the past
The
century.
good thing is that everyone keeps talking about replacement. You won't be replaced. Only you will be replaced, according to Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA. You will be replaced if you don't use AI. If you use AI, then you won't be replaced. You will still have a job, and you'll be more efficient. Half of your menial, clerical, small, like repetitive jobs, you can assign it to AI.
Yeah.
You can be the creative end of your job. So, last story before we end the show today and then see you back on Monday. Very small story, very cute story. Dubai-based logistics giant Aramex has announced a leadership change following the resignation of Group CEO Uthman Al-Jeda, who stepped down citing personal reasons. Al-Jeda's departure comes after a 31-year tenure with the company, including nearly 4 years as Group CEO since May 2021.
The transition in leadership closely follows the acquisition of a majority stake in Aramex by Abu Dhabi's Q Logistics, a subsidiary of ADQ Group. Now, the strategic move aims to create what market observers are calling a UAE-based logistics champion, consolidating national capabilities in global logistics.
And taking over as acting CEO is Nicolas Siboye, who has served as Aramex's Chief Financial Officer, CFO, since January 2022. Chairman Captain Mohammed Juma Al-Shamsi thanked Al-Jeda for his decades of service, calling his leadership instrumental in shaping Aramex into a global logistics player.
Now, during his tenure, Al-Jeda spearheaded a financial and operational turnaround at Aramex, bringing in a high-performing executive team and leading extensive restructuring efforts. Now, these initiatives have shown strong results in recent financial performance. The takeover by Q Logistics was first proposed in January and has since then received smooth approval from shareholders.
And lastly, reflecting on his journey, Al-Jeda said he has grown alongside Aramex, not only as a professional, but as a person. Aramex co-founder Fadi Gandour paid tribute to him as a builder who established the company's presence across cities from Amman to Singapore, ending in Dubai as CEO, the group CEO.
I think for me, Majid, with Aramex, it has a really special place in my
Yeah.
heart because of the fact that it was, co-founded by Fadi Gandour,
Yeah.
and the fact that, this is a brand that grew out of Jordan.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel me and Majid, we're constantly reiterating to you guys how successful the Gulf is, which they are. But, out of countries like Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, that's where such companies like Aramex are born. I call them fighters. They've done great for themselves. And Fadi Gandour, there was this quote that he said, and I love it, and it sticks with me till now. He said something so great about Dubai. He said, it's not very often. It's not specifically this, but he said it's not very often where you go to a city like Dubai in a country like the UAE, and the government is like knocking on your door.
Yeah.
I think that's what it basically.
That do something great for us. Like
Exactly.
It's never happens like in any part of the world you
Yeah.
go to. You actually have to like contribute, make a mark, and then someone recognizes you. Here, if you have talent, if you have the will, like the determination, the thirst to do something.
Yes.
The government will they have so many systems in place that you will find your way eventually.
It's in the entire Gulf. I saw this
Yeah.
thing last night, Majid, and it made me so happy. Basically, there's this influencer. His name's Omar, and he basically his entire. I think he has like up to 4 to 5 million followers on Instagram, and his content is going to different cities and basically making a vlog.
Nice.
I feel like
Travel
him.
content.
Remember when Sheikh Mohammed His Highness Sheikh Mohammed walked into the 1 billion summit, and he had gone into, and these two people were speaking. The guy that was there,
Nice.
basically his account is like he'll go to, for example, Yemen, and he'll show us like a tradition that they have where all the women that day don't go out, and it's only the men, and they have ritualistic
Nice.
singing, and it's like I need to show you his content. It's beautiful. There's subtitles, and it's crazy because in the videos he'll tell you, I don't know what's going on here, and then by the end, like, it's so honest, it's so genuine, it's almost like a film, and he got like a film award. Can you
Nice.
imagine that? Because his videos, to be honest with you, they are like that. They remind me of this guy. His name's Ahmed al-Shagari. Ahmed al-Shagari has very similar content. He goes to countries. He speaks to the real people on ground. And he has a show, I think, that goes live on the NBC. But beside the point, imagine, for his videos on Instagram, he got a film award. And honestly,
Nice.
so well-deserved. He's from Bahrain. His content, honestly, probably my favorite Arab influencer. I will show you his content after. But yeah, everyone really is appreciated here. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for tuning into the Smashy Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels at Smashy Business, and stay ahead with our newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description. Happy Friday, everyone.
This has been a Smashy Business Show, a Smashy Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. Big shout out to our 1.6 monthly listeners. Also, we have a weekend edition of this show. It's just my voice. It's AI voice. We want to be clear on that. We tell everything that we do
Majid
with
is
AI.
on his weekend.
Yeah, so we always tell whatever we do with AI, and we are very AI first kind of a company, if you're listening. And also the way AI Week, everyone
Yeah.
is saying that AI should be the first thing that you think about. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us whenever you join us. If you're listening afterwards, later, whenever you're listening, thank you so much. Also, we have Smashy Sports Show, which will go live around 11ish. Today, if you're listening live, yeah, you can watch that and know about the world of sports in the Middle East.
Yes, you
Take care.
can. Have a beautiful Friday.
Bye-bye.